Hello everyone, welcome back to Daily Devotions with Pastor Peter. We are in Genesis chapter 20, and this is what it says, so we can continue with the story. Abraham moved south of the Negev and lived there for a while between Kadesh and Sur, and he moved to the Gerar. While living there as a foreigner, Abraham introduced his wife Sarah by saying, "She is my sister." So King Abimelech of Gerar sent for Sarah and had her brought to him at his palace. But that night God came to Abimelech in a dream and told him, "You are a dead man, for that woman you have taken is already married." But Abimelech had not slept with her yet, so he said, "Lord, will you destroy an innocent nation? Didn't Abraham tell me she is my sister?" And she herself said, "Yes, he is my brother. I acted in complete innocence. My hands are clean." In the dream God responded, "Yes, I know you are innocent. That's why I kept you from sinning against me, and why I did not let you touch her. Now return the woman to her husband, and he will pray for you, for he is a prophet. Then you will live. But if you don't return her to him, you can be sure that you and all your people will die." Abimelech got up early the next morning and quickly called his servants together. When he told them what happened, his men were terrified. Then Abimelech called for Abraham. "What have you done to us?" he demanded. "What crime have I committed that deserved treatment like this, making me and my kingdom guilty of this great sin? No one should ever have done what you have done. Whatever possessed you to do such a thing?" Abraham replied, "I thought, this is a godless place. They will want to kill my wife. They will want my wife and kill me to get her. And she really is my sister, for we both have the same father, but different mothers. And I married her. When God called me to leave my father's home and to travel from place to place, I told her, 'Do me a favor. Wherever we go, tell the people that I am your brother.' Then Abimelech took some of his sheep and goats, cattle, and male and female servants, and he presented them to Abraham. He also returned his wife Sarah to him. Then Abimelech said, 'Look over my land and choose any place where you would like to live.' And he said to Sarah, 'Look, I am giving your brother,'" brother, it even said that in my Bible, quotations, "1,000 pieces of silver in the presence of all these witnesses. This is to compensate you for any wrong I may have done to you. This will settle any claim against me, and your reputation is cleared." Then Abraham prayed to God, and God healed Abimelech, his wife, and his female servants, so that they could have children. For the Lord had caused all the women to be infertile because of what happened with Abraham's wife, Sarah. My friends, simple chapter, but let me remind you real quick. Do not lie. I mean, if there's anything that you could do to cause problems, and again, here's reality. And the second thing is, first, do not lie. Second thing, learn from your mistakes. Abraham did this before. Does Egypt ring a bell when he told the Pharaoh, "Hey, that's my sister"? And I mean, I don't want to be perverted or anything about that, but my goodness, don't sell short your wife by telling other people that she's your sister. Now, in our situation right now, we can't say that because we're not allowed to marry our sister, which is a good thing. But Abraham married his half-sister. Back then, it was okay. But not to tell everybody else that this is your sister when you're married to her. You're gonna have children with her. You know, I mean, this is your wife. Your wife. Now, women, if your husband, pushes you off to the side, or your boyfriend doesn't recognize you, ditch him. All right? Pastor Peter said so. It's just bad practice for a husband to be ashamed of his wife, or a boyfriend to be ashamed of his girlfriend, because that will eventually lead to him being ashamed of you as his wife. So it just makes sense. But the second thing is, learn from your mistakes, Mr. Abraham. You did this already, and everything came down. Unless it was Abraham's idea of, hey, let's see how much money I can make out of this place. And God's covenant was tested again. Anyone who blesses you will be blessed. Anyone who doesn't bless you or curses you will be cursed. And in this sense, someone took Abraham's wife, even though it was Abraham's fault that someone took his wife. Another lesson, don't take someone else's wife. Make sure you're not, that she's married before you pursue her. Check the ring finger. So those of us who are a little older and who are, interested in finding someone, make sure that they're not married first. Now, I'm not going to go down that path any more than I need to. But the reality is, if you did something wrong, learn from your lesson. Don't lie. And it's embarrassing, too, what ends up happening. God told Abimelech in a dream, hey, return this man's wife. Abimelech gave him stuff and said, hey, you know what? I want to be blessed. I don't want to have to deal with all this, so just get her out. But he did this in front of everybody. So imagine for the rest of your life, They will know you as the man best blessed by God, but a goofball who lied and who said his wife was his sister. But yet God still blessed him. Again, going back to Abraham. Remember how I said, the trajectory was up towards God? It was this. It goes towards God, yes, but then he made some royal mistakes through his life, which gives us hope. Why? I'm not saying I'm better than Abraham. I'm not. We all make mistakes. I make mistakes. You make mistakes. But then it's the path that we take before God. And it shows too, your pastor is not perfect. Nobody is perfect. And even though your pastor may sin or your pastor may screw up, yes, he's called by God, called to a higher standard. I agree with that. But then doesn't mean that he doesn't have issues. Doesn't mean that he doesn't fall. And it doesn't mean that we shouldn't respect him. For me, in my life, I've had leaders, mentors who have failed me miserably. Pastors, advisors. And was it difficult to respect them after you find out what happened? Yeah, it was. However, we know that it's not, them and us that is the issue. It's between them and God. God called them. God will deal with them. But at the same time, we are called to respect those who have been called into ministry. There have been pastors who I've royally disagreed with. Some of them were people I've worked with. But I am still respectful of them and respectful of what God does through them. And so should you. So should all of us. We learn from our mistakes. We learn from those who go before us. And we should be willing to be blessed by those who have been blessed by God and respect them the same way Abimelech respected Noah. This is not Noah. Respected Abraham. Because Abraham still has the authority that God has given on him. So, a few things. 1, learn from your mistakes. 2, don't make the same mistakes again. 3, respect those who've been called by God. Whether they're perfect, whether they're wrong, give them that respect. God will bless you, as we see God blessing Abimelech, but God blesses them as well too. Regardless. Because it's not what we do that makes us righteous. It's our faith in God and God seeing us, declaring us righteous, that matters most. So my friends, something to think about. Something to think about. If you want to pray for your new, and I have seen this thing too, you want a new pastor, pray for the one that you have. He'll make change. Or not. Be patient. God calls you where you're at for a reason. And he allows things to happen in your life for a reason. Stick with it. Like Abraham did. 100 years being a father, that's a long time, yikes, to hold on to a promise. But he held on, and God blessed him for that. You want to be blessed? Hold on to God's promises. We'll see you in the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.